Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Make sure that you guys subscribe for some more Taylor Talk. So today I'm going to be talking about Christy Carlson Romano. Yes, I know you guys have all heard of this name before. She was a phenomenal, famous child actress. If you guys know anything about Even Stevens or Kim Possible, you know that she starred in both of those series and even the movie. But before I even jump into anything, I just want to put a disclaimer out there. This is not a video to bash Christy Carlson Romano. This is a video that just talks about what she talked about on her YouTube channel, which was her life and what she's learned and what she's kind of had to do and how she's grown throughout the years. I am a subscriber of her YouTube videos, and I have watched a lot of her videos from the very beginning when she first started in 2019, and I've just learned so much from her and honestly appreciate her openness and just her vulnerability in front of millions and millions of people. So I respect her. I love her. If I were to see her in person right now, I would probably fangirl. So this is not a bashful, hateful video. If you guys are, thinking that I'm going to do that, click off right now. This is all about what I've learned from her and how amazing she is for just opening up about her life as, a famous actress. Now that I got that out the way, I want to talk about just everything that she's kind of talked about in her YouTube videos. Not everything, because she did talk about a lot, but just some of the things that I have learned from her. So when she first started her YouTube videos in 2019, what she did was her specialty was getting all of the famous past Disney stars on her YouTube channel, and they would kind of cook and they would talk about all the details from making their shows or making their movies. Like Monique Coleman was on there. They talked about High School Musical. Also, Kyla Pratt was on there. They talked about the Proud family and how they sung Circle of Life together. She even got together with some of her Even Stevens castmates, and it was really successful. These, videos of her getting with these successful Disney alums were great, and people tuned into them because they wanted to hear everything behind the scenes. And then gradually her YouTube channel kind of grew into her reacting to Even Stevens clips and just talking about what it was like being on Even Stevens and just reacting to that world. And then something sort of kind of changed. She pivoted. And what I mean by pivot, I mean she posted YouTube videos about her life and her life behind all of the glitz and glamour and just the rawness. She started posting videos of the truth about the Disney Channel, why I ran away from Hollywood, am I irrelevant, why I don't talk to Shia LaBeouf. That video got over 1.7 million views. What my celebrity bullies taught me, why I don't have, famous friends, how come Katy Perry got my record deal, So all of these videos that she posted on YouTube, they were kind of light and airy and kind of, lighthearted. And then they turned into, serious. This was my life. This is what I went through. This is what I learned. This is what I think should happen now, stuff like that. So I thought it was interesting how she made this pivot on her YouTube. And when she did, her YouTube channel skyrocketed. I remember when I was first watching her YouTube channel, there was maybe a few thousand people. Now, I think right now she's at 350K, which is amazing. It's just a testament of how you can do something one way, and then if you just change and just pivot, not even completely, because she was already talking about her life, but not in detail. So she started talking about her life in detail, and then she got all of these followers, and she even now is on TikTok. And she has almost 1 million followers on TikTok last time I checked, I believe. So she has completely did a 360 and pivoted. And she is, a talking point. She's on all of these different, news articles. And she's speaking out to different news reporters. So I just think that the world is starting to see who Christy Carlson Romano is. And these are some of the things that I learned from her videos, at least her recent videos, over the past couple of weeks. Number one would be everything is not what it seems. When Disney Plus dropped Kim Possible on its platform, I remember I was so excited. I called my sister and I was like, oh my gosh, we have to watch the first season of Kim Possible together. Now we're in 2 different states, but we were like, hey, we're going to start the first season, and we were just texting each other throughout the entire night. I started watching the first season maybe, I want to say 7 o'clock at night. And we just binge watched into the second season until 2 o'clock in the morning. Or it might have been the third season. I don't know. But Kim Possible used to be and still is one of my favorite cartoons on Disney Channel. Not just on Disney Channel, but my favorite cartoon, period. So when I saw that, I was like, wow, like, this is my show. I want to watch this. I want to see that. Kim Possible, in my mind, is still fresh. You know what I'm saying? I didn't watch Even Stevens that much, but I did know who Christy Carlson Romano was. And, if I were to see her right now, of course I would fangirl and be like, oh my gosh, like, that's Kim Possible. So to kind of hear her say, her behind the scenes story of her life and talk about how she, is doing now and all of that, it was just really interesting. So number one, everything is not what it seems. She talked about the truth about the Disney Channel, and she didn't say anything about there's like any bad blood or anything, but she talked about why I ran away from Hollywood, and she was talking about how, she was trying to get on shows, but for some reason she just didn't book anything. And that's not a bad thing. I'm a firm believer of, things happen for a reason. God already has, the plans for us. But it's just the fact that Kim Possible was such a big show. I'm thinking that she's going to book all these shows and I'm going to see her for the rest of, my life on the big screen. And for a few years, she was kind of gone. And she talked about that in a YouTube video. And she talked about how the people around her said that she was always going to, have work and she was always going to be getting money. But she said, the money dried up and everything kind of a little bit crashed and burned in front of her. So I thought that was great that she talked about that. So number one, what I learned from Christy Carlson Romano is everything is not what it seems. Even though she was, the voice of Kim Possible and she started on Even Stevens and, everybody kind of knows her because she's famous. Behind the scenes, there was a lot going on, just like everybody else in life, So number two, the value of money is just so important. She had a video of saying how I lost all my money. What I learned from her is, you can have all of this money from doing whatever you're doing. Like, she said she made millions of dollars, when she was a child actress. And what she did was she said she was trying to keep up with the Joneses, and she blew it on different luxury items, and she gave money to her parents when they needed help. And she also just didn't know how to invest her money or how to spend her money wisely. So, she went from making millions and millions of dollars in her younger years to now, she even said in the video that, I forgot what website it was, but she said she looked at a website and they said that her net worth was $3 million, and she disputed that. She said, hey, like, I don't have millions of dollars. I'm not a millionaire. I'm just a mom that makes a YouTube channel, and, I try to do work whenever I can. And I thought that was just so bold and so refreshing for her to say, because sometimes we look at these celebrities, or not even celebrities, but just people in life that look like they have it all together. And behind the scenes, they're just, not behind the scenes necessarily, but it just seems like they have everything together, but they don't know what to do with that everything. And that everything is money. And what I learned from her is, what we always hear, but you don't have to keep up with the Joneses. And I think watching that video, she reiterated that learning inside of me. So I'm really appreciative that she talked about that. So that was number two. Number three, this is my last point that I want to talk about. Of course, I learned so much from these videos of her being so honest and open and raw, and I appreciate her for that. In fact, if you're listening to this, Christy Carlson Romano, thank you so much. But the last point that I do want to discuss is what I learned from her is it's never too late to change. It's never too late to pivot, and don't be afraid to change, and don't be afraid to pivot. For her, Christy Carlson Romano, she will always, go down in history as, a famous actress because of the work that she did for Disney. People, Even Stevens is on Disney Plus. Disney Plus isn't going to go away, or even if it does, her show will remain in history. Kim Possible, that show broke so many, records and barriers, for girls all over the world. I think I was reading an article that said that before Kim Possible came out, studios were scared to make a cartoon revolving around like a girl or a woman, a cartoon girl, because they thought that they would lose the male audience. But for Kim Possible, both male and females, boy and girls, were watching that show. And that's why, that show was just, number one on Disney Channel for a long time. So, the things that she has been a part of, the shows and series and things that she's been a part of are iconic. and nobody can deny that. So we're taking this actress that, is a part of such an iconic thing, and then you see them on YouTube. That is a huge, step, just putting yourself out there and saying, hey, like, I don't have everything together, or I used to be this, and now, I didn't get as many roles as I wanted to, and I had to move out of, LA to Texas. But she said, hey, I might not be where I want to be as far as, like being an actress or anything, but I'm going to pick myself up, and I'm going to go on YouTube, and I'm going to talk about my life, and, I'm going to make money this way. And I just think that that is stunning. That is amazing. And, when I think about it, in life, we want so many good things to happen to us. But sometimes what we need to do, and I'm taking this advice as well, is sometimes we need to put ourselves out there, and we need to pivot, and we need to change. If you want to get what you never got, you have to do something that you never done. So the fact that, she's on YouTube and she's talking about herself, and she even said it, like, she opened up more to us, because she just wanted to be more real to her, her audience, and just be honest with herself, and of course make money in the process. So I'm really glad that she opened up to everybody, and I think she is setting a really good example for everybody that's just afraid to put themselves out there. It doesn't have to be like a YouTube channel, make a YouTube channel or anything, but just she showed people and like taught me that you can pivot and you can still be successful. She is still successful without the YouTube channel, or, whatever she's going to do forward, she's still successful. So I thought that was great that, she took that leap, and